The JoLynn Braley Show, episode 52. 3 steps to guarantee an easy 52-pound weight loss over the next 52 weeks. Yay! Welcome. This is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the kick-ass and amazing Inner Self diet. And what I do is I help smart, successful women and a few cool men achieve permanent weight loss. Yes, I help my coaching clients lose weight and keep it off forever. How do we accomplish this amazing result? Well, you have to heal the root of your overeating, your fat mindset, your emotional eating, your binge eating, your food obsessions, your food addictions, whatever has caused you to be overweight and whatever has been driving your out of control, unhealthy lifestyle. Once the root of that problem is solved, then you're free. Once the root of the problem that made you fat is healed, then you are free. Then it's easy to live a healthy lifestyle. It's easy to drop the fat. It's easy to keep the fat off when you do it the right way, when you do it the way that I do it with my coaching clients, which is from the inside out. And it always results in permanent success with your weight. It's pretty exciting. And most people don't do it like this. And that's why they're struggling. That's why they continue to yo-yo diet. That's why they're continuing to look for the magical, weird solutions for weight loss, when really the truth is that weight loss in and of itself is not rocket science. It's not hard, but you have to do it. And what is hard, what makes it hard, is the wrong mindset. What makes it hard is low self-esteem. What makes it hard is low self-confidence. What makes it hard is a food addiction. What makes it hard is all of your self-doubts that stop you and sabotage you at every turn you make. You know, this is the real stuff that keeps you fat. It's not food. Food is just a tool that you use that puts the fat on the body. And obviously all of us have common sense. You know that you're never going to lose weight and keep it off by eating brownies all day. That doesn't make any sense. You know that you have to live a healthy lifestyle. You have to drink plenty of water every day. You have to be eating healthy foods every day. You have to be eating only when you're physically hungry, stopping when you're physically full. You've got to be getting regular cardio exercise, regular strength training. All of this has to be a lifestyle. And it is too difficult to do it when you can't stop emotional eating, when you can't stop binge eating, when you can't stop hating yourself, when you can't stop struggling, when you can't stop beating up on yourself and sabotaging yourself and ruining all of your success as soon as you have a little bit of success. The good news is that once all of that stuff is healed, once that real problem is solved, then weight loss is no longer a big deal. And you know, I've been doing this coaching with my awesome clients. I've been coaching amazing clients through my proven steps to permanent weight loss since 2009. And every client who has just listened to me, done what I said, done the steps, followed my instructions, every single one of them has ended their struggles with food and weight in 8 weeks or less. So whether they were a binge eater for over 30 years like Holly is a client that I coached back in 2011, and she had been struggling with binge eating for over 30 years. She'd been off and on in therapy for 7 years. Nothing she had done had solved her binge eating problems. She'd tried all kinds of things. Nothing worked until she hired me as her coach, and she did the proven steps that I gave her to do. She ended her binge eating in 2011. It's never returned. I've continued to get updates from her throughout the years since that time. and she was 20 pounds overweight back then. She lost the 20 pounds. She's never gained it back. And, these are amazing results, but they're not amazing when you understand that you have a problem. And if you've never fixed that problem, then you still have the problem. And unfortunately, buying a book about healthy eating or buying a workout DVD or getting some exercise or diet tips off the internet, those things don't fix your problem. Your problem is whatever is causing you to keep yourself fat, whatever is causing you to keep abusing food and abusing yourself, whatever is stopping you from being consistent, whatever is stopping you from getting unstuck. These are the real problems, okay? Because if you would just eat healthy and you would just exercise and do it at least 5 days a week, exercise, right? Cardio, strength training. Hey, you can hire a personal trainer, but even that doesn't work if you haven't healed the real problem. I've had coaching clients who had personal trainers and it didn't stop their emotional eating. It didn't stop their binge eating. So when you have a problem like binge eating or emotional eating and you haven't fixed that problem, how can you ever expect to lose weight and keep it off? Because a food diet or a personal trainer doesn't fix that problem. What a food diet does is it gives you the recipe to eat in a certain way so that you can lose weight. And hey, as long as it's healthy, it'll work. In fact, there's even some weird things out there that are strange. They're not healthy, but if you just do the healthy diet and exercise program, it'll work. But there's reasons why you're not doing it, and there's reasons why you're addicted to food. For example, you know what? There's many women who are overweight and overeating and addicted to food who were abused as children, or maybe even as adults. Okay, that's a problem, and if that problem has never been fixed and has never been healed, then you're not going to lose weight and keep it off forever just by buying another diet book. That's not the solution. Does this make sense? Do you get it? So what's the quickest and easiest way to solve the real problem? You hire a coach who knows what she's doing, like myself, and you get the problem fixed. It's really that simple. I can't make it any simpler. I've had way too many coaching clients who had been in therapy and that didn't fix their problem, because therapy is not coaching. Therapy depends on the therapist. I'm not a therapist. I'm a professional coach, okay? And I have the certifications and the tools and the wherewithal as well as the intuition. I have the whole package that gets results. And hey, if you can find a therapist who gets the results that I do for my coaching clients, then that's a different story. But I've had way too many coaching clients who had been in therapy, and therapy is about talking. It's about feeling. It's about looking at things. Where are the results? Now, if the results that you want, if you just want to have the results of having somebody to listen to you and having someone to talk to, then get therapy. But if you want the results of ending your binge eating, ending your emotional eating, ending the struggle so that you can lose weight and keep it off, get the right coach, do the steps, get it done. And that's what I do with my coaching clients in the Inner Self Diet. Hey, before I get to today's topic of 3 steps to guarantee an easy 52-pound weight loss over the next 52 weeks, if you're listening to me right now and you're thinking, you know what, I am so smart and I am successful professionally, but I'm still fat and I would love to have a body, I'd love to feel great, I'd love to have a body that matches my otherwise successful life. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of hating on myself and struggling with this ongoing problem. I'm sick and tired of being fat. It's not that I don't know what to do. I know exactly what I need to do to lose weight. All right. In fact, you might have even done it before. I've had many clients who in the past, they were at their ideal weight, but because they had not solved the real problem before working with me, they gained all the weight back. So if you'd love to stop wondering, why am I so smart and successful, but I'm not successful with my weight? I've never been successful in achieving permanent weight loss. I'm always struggling. I'm sick and tired of it. I hate it. I hate myself a lot of the time. I can't stand my body, and I want to feel great. I want to end this problem. I want to stop emotional eating. I want to stop binge eating. I want to have a healthy relationship with food. I do want to like what I eat, but I don't want to be addicted to food. I want to be in control. I don't want to have this thing called food be the ruler of my life anymore. I want to live my life. I want to have the best life that I could possibly have. I want to make more money. And I know that I can't make more money as long as I continue to feel crappy about myself, because then I don't have the confidence to really put myself out there. All right? This problem that you have with the food and the weight is a much bigger problem than you even realize. It impacts every area of your life. And if you're listening to me right now and you're saying, JoLynn, this is great. I am so fed up. I just want to end this struggle, and I'm so tired of it. Here's your first step. Go to www.discovery-session.com. Discovery-session.com. That's discovery-session.com, and start the process of applying to get on the phone with me for a complimentary weight loss discovery session. And on that complimentary call that is one-on-one, and it's a private call, it's just between us. You do have to apply, and the reason you have to apply is because, just like you, I'm sure you're very busy because you've got a lot going on, right? You've got your work, you might have kids, you might have family, you've got a whole bunch of things going on, and I do too. And unfortunately, this offer that I'm giving you right now, I can only speak to at most 3 people per week on these free phone calls. So it's a very limited offer. If you're serious about doing this, I highly recommend that you get an application in immediately, because otherwise, what are you going to do? You're going to struggle through another year, another 5 years, another 10 years of beating your head against the wall, when you could lose weight. If you're 50 pounds overweight, you could have this done. You could definitely have this done within the next 12 months, if not the next 6 months. And get on with your life, Get this handled, get this solved. Be done with it. Be done with this food addiction and the fat and all of this drama that doesn't have to be a drama once you heal the real problem, which is what the result is from working with me. The problem is done. So like I was saying, this is a very limited offer. If you're serious about doing this, go to www.discovery-session.com to apply for a free weight loss discovery session with me. And if your application is approved, then we'll get on the phone and I'll help you discover what has really been stopping you from losing weight for good. It's about so much more than the food. We'll look at you personally, because obviously me talking right now in this podcast, I have no idea who you are. For all I know, you could be a Siamese cat, and your owner left this podcast on when she went to work. So I have no idea who you are. So, to actually get real personal help, to make sure that my coaching would work for you personally, we got to get on the phone. And the way that you start that process is by going to www.discovery-session.com. Get in the queue with your application for a complimentary call with me. And just keep in mind that this is a very limited offer, and not everyone's application is approved. I'll give you a hint too. How do you make sure your application is approved? For every question that's on the application, fill out full details. Don't hold anything back. All right. If you think that you're going to get on the phone with me with one-word answers, then unfortunately that kind of application that comes in, my team doesn't approve those, because I can't help somebody who's not willing to be totally honest with themselves, totally honest with me. You got to be excited, excited about ending this problem once and for all. And the way that you answer the questions in the application will show that. All right, so let's get to this topic. This is a good one. 3 steps to guarantee an easy 52-pound weight loss over the next 52 weeks. All right, so easy math, you can figure out that this is a very basic release of 1 pound of fat per week over the next 52 weeks. Now, this is this is great if you are more than 52 pounds overweight. If you're listening to this and you're 20 pounds overweight, like Holly was, and you can't stop stuffing your face and you're hating yourself, well, you know what? Use these same steps, because you still need to do the same things if you want weight loss to be easy and you want it to last. You still have to do the same steps. All right? In fact, these 3 steps will guarantee easy weight loss that lasts for anyone. Okay? But check it out. Check out the steps, because here's the thing. In order to release the fat from your body and keep it off, you have to be consistent. And consistency does not mean eating healthy for 2 days of the week, Monday and Tuesday, and then you stuff yourself on Tuesday night with cheesecake, and then you tell yourself, well, I blew it, so I'll start again next Monday. Okay, that is an example of inconsistency. All right, and it might sound really, well, duh, JoLynn, obviously, that's a no-brainer, but you might be surprised how many millions of strugglers right now are living like that. And I've done that before too. And it's madness. It is total madness, and it will never get you where you want to go. To release the fat from the body and to keep it off, you have to be living a healthy lifestyle. Okay? What is a lifestyle? A lifestyle is a way of life that you live no matter what day of week it is, no matter what meal time it is, no matter what time of year it is, whether it's the holiday season or it is the 4th of July. It doesn't matter. A healthy lifestyle is a way of life. It's a way of life. And does a healthy lifestyle mean that you never, ever, ever have a cookie? No, it doesn't mean that you never have a cookie. But when you do the 3 steps that I'm going to share with you today, you'll be able to have a cookie and not eat the whole box. Isn't that amazing? I've had so many coaching clients who, before working with me, it was impossible for them to eat one cookie, like an Oreo cookie, for example. It was impossible for them to eat one cookie without eating the whole box or the whole sleeve of cookies. But once you get your inside right, okay? Once you get yourself right on the inside, nothing stops you on the outside. And when you do that, you really are not wanting the cookies all the time anyway, because the reason that you want the cookies all the time is because of a fat mindset. What's a fat mindset? That's a mindset grounded in fear attracting thoughts. FAT. FAT is what puts the fat on your butt, on your belly, on your body. When you're living from a mindset that is based in fear, it is the opposite of a mindset based in love, and you're basically just living in survival mode. That's really what it comes down to. But that will be a good topic for another podcast. Let me stick to these 3 steps to guarantee an easy 52-pound weight loss over the next 52 weeks. But I just wanted to give you, the basic bottom line that, hey, you got to be able to stay consistent, and you have to keep moving forward, and it has to be a day after day, meal after meal, ongoing process. Okay, but how do you do this? Because obviously you are not able to do this right now. If you were able to do it, you would not be listening to me. You'd be out there living your life. Or you'd be listening to a podcast about building $1 million business or writing a book or whatever your dream for your life is. Maybe your dream for your life is to get married and have 3 kids. So you'd be listening to a podcast about attracting your ideal man, right? You're listening to me right now because you want to lose weight and you want to keep it off. And since you have not ever been able to do this on your own, that tells me, and it tells you, you're not able to stay consistent. You don't have accountability in your life. You don't have a coach. If you do have a coach, you don't have the right coach, and you're not moving forward. Well, actually, that's not true. You are moving forward, but guess what you're moving towards? You're moving towards more of the same of what you already have. You're just moving towards more struggle. It's actually impossible to not move forward. It's all a matter of what are you moving towards? Are you moving towards your ideal body, your ideal fit self, or are you moving towards more of the fat? Not just the fat on the body, but the fat in the head, right? So what are these 3 steps to guarantee an easy 52-pound weight loss over the next 52 weeks? Number 1, you have to make sure that you've got your mind right. That is 90% of the game. 90%. And you know what? Here's the thing. This is not only when it comes to weight loss. All right. I was just listening to a coaching call that I was on live with a business coach, and I was re-listening to the call, and he said himself that building a successful $1 million or more business, or even making it to your first 100,000 a year business, even getting going with a business. All right. So I'm backing up here in all these steps, but it's 90% inner game, 90% mindset. And why is it you don't hear very many people talking about this? Because it's not, there's a few reasons. One, it's really hard to do it on your own. It's really, really hard to do it on your own. If you could have gotten the right mindset, if you could have gotten a weight loss mindset and done it fast and done it on your own, again, you wouldn't be listening to me, and you wouldn't have wasted 10, 20, 30 or more years of your life struggling with overeating and binge eating and emotional eating and food addiction. You wouldn't have wasted 10, 20, or 30 more years of your life telling yourself that you'd start again on Monday or that you'd make another New Year's resolution to lose weight. Guess what? I'm sorry to tell you, any New Year's resolutions you make to lose weight, it's not going to work if you don't have a weight loss mindset. Because you can't force yourself to become something on the inside. You can't force yourself to become something on the outside that you are not already on the inside. And this is actually a universal law. And universal laws trump everything. Universal laws trump everything. You cannot change any law of the universe. Neither can I. And one of the laws of the universe is the inner and the outer always match. And what specifically does this mean when it comes to permanent weight loss? It means that if you're fat on the inside, your body has to be fat on the outside. And what is the fat on the inside? The fat on the inside are fat beliefs. Beliefs in limits and limitations. Beliefs that there's not enough. Beliefs in a lack of money, beliefs in a lack of food, a lack of time, beliefs that you don't deserve to have what you want, beliefs that you're not good enough, beliefs that weight loss is hard, that it takes too long, that you can't do it, self-doubts, fears of success, fears of failure, all of this stuff that makes up the fat on the inside of you, that matches a fat body on the outside. Low self-esteem, low self-confidence, all of this stuff. So when you have a weight loss mindset and you've gotten that down, you have already solved 90% of the problem. You've solved 90% of the problem. Then 10% of the problem is buying the healthy foods, planning your meals out, cooking, portioning out your food, planning ahead, eating your healthy meals, getting regular exercise, drinking plenty of water, getting cardio, getting strength training, and allowing the fat to drop off. That's it. It's pretty simple. But you have to get your mind right. You got to get a weight loss mindset. And how do you do that? Okay, I said there's 3 steps to guarantee an easy 52-pound weight loss over the next 52 weeks. The first step, you have to have a weight loss mindset. Number 2, make sure that you've got the right coach helping you. Why? Because how in the heck are you going to get the weight loss mindset without a coach? Where do you start? Where do you start? Because one of your biggest roadblocks right now is what you don't even know and what you don't even realize is stopping you. One of your biggest roadblocks in getting a weight loss mindset is the stuff that you are not aware of about yourself, all of your blind spots. And all of us have blind spots, and this is why all of us need coaching. And this is why it's important to continue to get coaching throughout your life for the different milestones and the different levels of success that you want to reach. Whether that's after you get a weight loss mindset, you have to get the right coach to help you get the weight loss mindset so that you can do it fast and it can be easy. And when you have the right coach, she can see what is stopping you that you can't see. And why can't you see these things? Because you live in your struggle, because you live in your problems, because you live in your stuff, and it's become such a part of you that you can't even see what is stopping you. How do I know you can't see it? Because if you could, and you knew this, if you could see it, and you knew the solution, and you had the ability, you had the right mindset to do the solution, to break free of the problems, then you wouldn't be listening to me. So when you've got the right coach who can help you break free, you're golden. And all you have to do is follow the right system that the coach gives you. That's the 3rd step to guarantee an easy 52-pound weight loss over the next 52 weeks. Now remember, the title of today's podcast is 3 Steps to Guarantee an Easy 52-Pound Weight Loss Over the Next 52 Weeks. Are there other ways to lose 52 pounds over the next 52 weeks? Sure, you can fight your mindset. You can fight all of your self-doubts that always come up after the sun goes down, and then you start doubting yourself, and you start doubting your diet, and you start doubting if you're ever going to be able to get the 52 pounds off, and then you go to 7-Eleven or go to CVS and buy all kinds of crap to eat, and then you tell yourself you'll start again tomorrow, but then you can't start again tomorrow because it's Wednesday and you need to wait until Monday. And then another month goes by, another 6 months goes by, another 6 years goes by, and you're still struggling, and you've never gotten to where you want to go. You could have been at your ideal weight 20 years ago. But because you haven't gotten your mind right, and you haven't gotten the right coaching, and if you have gotten coaching, then obviously that coach didn't have the right system. Because you need to make sure that you have the right system so that you're going to succeed. And how do you know that you're working with the right coach who has the right system? Read their testimonials. Watch the videos. Watch the videos of the clients that they've worked with. Listen to the audio interviews of the clients they've worked with. And when you find a permanent weight loss coach who has written testimonials, audio testimonials, and video testimonials, and all of these people in writing, in audio, and on video are saying, I could never have done this on my own. I was struggling for 30 years, 40 years. I couldn't stop overeating. Now I've already lost 20 pounds, and there's nothing in my way of releasing another 20 pounds. I've got it. Talk to JoLynn now. When you find all of that in a coach, you know that you've got the right system because it's worked for all of these other people that have come before you. And then if you're still doubting that what you are reading from previous clients, what you are listening to on audio interviews from previous clients, and what you're watching on videos from previous clients. If you're still doubting that the right system that this right coach, myself, JoLynn Braley, has, you're still doubting that that would work for you, that's because your mindset is fat. That is because your mindset is fat, because your mindset has so many fears, and you've been struggling for so long, and your self-esteem is so low that you're still doubting that you could have the success that all of these other people have had. So what do you do then? You really have to look at, what the heck do you want? You know, how many more years are you willing to keep struggling? How many more years are you willing to keep holding yourself back from having the body that you want? Because if you never fix the real problem, which is inside of you, that causes you to eat the stuff that you know will make you fat, if you never fix the real problem that is driving your food addictions, if you never fix the real problem that is stopping you, then you're never going to lose weight and keep it off, and it's not going to be easy, for sure. Did I finish my thought? I don't know if I finished it. I started to say, hey, there's another way that you could lose 52 pounds over the next 52 weeks. I think I did finish it. I just started saying that, hey, yeah, you could avoid getting coaching. You could avoid using the right coaching system that has already worked for everybody who's come before you, which is the inner self diet that is proven to work. That's the my proven proprietary step-by-step coaching system to struggle-free weight loss in 8 weeks or less. You could avoid working on your mindset, which is 90% of the challenge, and you could just force yourself, just make a New Year's resolution, just tell yourself that you're going to do it, you're just going to do it like Nike says, you're just going to pull it out finally, and you're just going to make yourself do it. Well, could you lose 52 pounds over the next 52 weeks doing that? Possibly. Are you going to stick with it that long? Probably not. Because another part of a fat mindset is that you expect instant gratification. And the body doesn't release fat instantly. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen. So this is another reason why you have to have a weight loss mindset, because you have to be able to hang in there for the long haul. Does that make sense? Otherwise, how are you ever going to get to this ideal weight and ideal body? And how are you going to do it struggle-free? And how are you going to make it last? How will you make it last? How will you make it last? It is time for a commercial break here on the JoLynn Braley Show, and today's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is mypodcastbonus.com. mypodcastbonus.com is the place to go now, where you can grab my free 5-day e-course, which will help you answer the question. For sure, it will definitely help you answer the question, is your mindset fit or fat? All right? Very, very, very important question to answer, because as long as your mindset stays fat, you'll continue to struggle. And it's such a pain in the ass to struggle with food and your weight when you don't have to. All right? So go to mypodcastbonus.com. You can opt in, get my free 5-day e-course, and it will help you answer the question, is your mindset fit or fat? Help you discover what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good, and also what the next step is if you really want to do something about it. And you can get that at mypodcastbonus.com. Okay, questions to ask yourself. On each episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, I give you some questions to ask yourself, and I highly recommend that you grab pen and paper if you don't already have pen and paper. Write down each question and then write down your answer. Pause this podcast if you need more time. Why do I recommend this? Because I agree with Tony Robbins, who says you will never learn by listening alone, and you won't. You might get a couple nuggets of ahas just by listening to my voice, but you're not going to actually make changes. You're not going to make new decisions. You're not going to get new results by continuing to just do what you've always done. You have to actually do something radically different in order to get radically different results. And if you have never gotten out a pen and paper and written down the questions that I give you on my free weekly weight loss podcast, and if you have never written down your answers to the questions, then this would be something radically different for you to start with. And then you'll actually be getting the connection that occurs between the head, the hand, and the heart when you write pen on paper, which you will never get. You will never get that connection by listening, just listening, and you won't get that connection by typing on a keyboard. Absolutely not. Okay, so the first question to ask yourself, exactly how many more years am I willing to keep struggling all alone with my food and weight problems? Exactly how many more years am I willing to keep struggling all alone with my food and weight problems? And write down the answer. And if you find yourself writing down, I'm not willing to struggle even one more minute, then the second question is, how exactly are you going to end the struggle? How exactly what is your specific game plan? What is my specific game plan for ending this struggle now? What is my specific game plan for ending my emotional eating, ending my binge eating, ending my food addictions, ending my weight loss procrastination, ending my weight loss excuses? What exactly is my proven game plan that I'm doing? And write it all out. Write out every single step. And proven means that you know that it already works. And whatever it is that you're writing down, it has to have 90% of the game plan has to be mindset. Why? Because it doesn't work otherwise. There's a reason why 78 million or 80 million, you can look it up on Google. Look up the CDC statistics on the current stats of how many millions of people in the United States are classified now as overweight or obese. It's 78 million or more. There's a reason that 78 million or more people are fat, okay? There's a reason. And why is it that any of those people, just like you, could go to their local public library today and get a book on healthy eating? And if you would just do what's in that book, you would lose weight. Why don't you do it? Because you are still struggling with what 90% of the problem is. It's in your head, it's in your heart, it's in your emotions. So my point is that with your proven strategy, your proven game plan for ending your struggles right now, 90% of it has to be mindset if you want it to work. Third question, who is my proven coach I'm working with? Who's my coach? Why do you need a coach? Because that's the quickest and easiest way to get the results you want. That is the quickest and easiest way to get the results you want. And you could say, well, JoLynn, you only say that because you're a coach. Well, I am a coach. But I can also say, from my standpoint of being being the coached, being the person who is being coached, because I've been hiring coaches since 2008. I know from my own experience that hiring a coach is the quickest and easiest way to get what you want. I continue to invest tens of thousands of dollars in myself each year to get coaching. Why? Because it works. Because none of us can see our own blind spots. Because we all need help. And part of the fat mindset, a symptom of a fat mindset is a mindset that tells you you could figure it all out on your own. You know, one of my coaching clients, Laura from New Jersey, she applied for a weight loss discovery session with me a couple a year or so ago. I'd have to look at the dates. Anyway, she applied for a complimentary weight loss discovery session. She never confirmed it. And then a year later, she came back and said that she wanted to get on the phone with me. And we sent her some questions to ask her, well, why? Because you never confirmed it before. Are you really serious about doing this? Because JoLynn's not going to get on the phone with folks who aren't serious about really making a badass change. And what she said was, I thought I could do it all on my own. I thought I could just, piece together JoLynn's email posts or what she writes, just tips that she gives, and I could figure it out. She said, all that happened was everything just got worse. And the thing is that number one, the inner self diet isn't out there in free tips on the internet. Number two, even if it were, it wouldn't work for you because it requires two-way communication. The type of work that I do with my coaching clients, we're doing real brain changes. We're doing the real stuff that has to be done so that you totally get out of your own way, so that you totally believe in yourself, so that you just live a healthy lifestyle, so you could drop the fat and keep it off, so that the binge eating is gone. There's a reason why I have amazing client success stories, because I'm actually on the phone with these people doing the work. I'm in the trenches with them. And it's not just affirmations or go eat this kind of food. It's the real inner core work that needs to be done. And that's why the inner self diet works every time. Now, it doesn't work for you if you don't do it, and it'll never work for you if you never get in it. I guarantee that. And I guarantee too, if you were to get an invitation to enroll in the inner self diet and you were to enroll and you didn't do any of the steps, it wouldn't work for you. That's why you got to have accountability. That's why accountability is built in to the coaching that I do. It guarantees that my clients succeed because it guarantees that they do the steps. How do you do all this on your own? Another great question. How exactly, this is a question for you to write down and answer. How exactly am I going to keep myself accountable? How exactly am I going to keep myself accountable? Especially when you've never succeeded at that in the past. Another reason why you need a coach. Coaching simply works, and not just for permanent weight loss, but whatever it is you want in your life. People who want to have the best relationship, the best marriage. If you're struggling, I would highly recommend coaching with the right coach over therapy. Get the right coach and the way you know you have the right coach is look at their success stories, look at their testimonials, talk to the person, watch their videos, listen to their podcast, feel their vibration, One of the big differences, and I don't think I said this before, one of the big differences between coaching and therapy is that when you're working with the right coach, and really I can only speak for myself because I know what I do with my clients, but when you're working with the right coach, you're given tools, you're given exercises to do in your daily life to work with, to do action steps. So it's not just about talking, it's about doing the steps in your daily life to shift your inside, to get a weight loss mindset, to solve 90% of the problem. And then when you do that, then it seems like magic that it's so easy to pick the tomatoes over the chocolate cake, pick the salad over the cookies. But the reason it becomes so easy is because you've done the inner steps. And that's the work that really matters. That's the work that matters. All right, so one last question. What would be my biggest benefit, my biggest result? What would be the most awesome result that I would get if I could just stop this struggle? If I could just stop my binge eating, stop the food addiction, stop the emotional eating. If I could just stick with healthy eating and a healthy lifestyle, and I could really lose all of my extra fat and get to my ideal weight and stay there and do it struggle free, what would be my biggest benefit, my biggest, most wonderful thing that I would get from that? What would that be? And write it down. And then after you write it down, put yourself in that place and imagine how you would feel if you were there right now. Because whatever that is, if it's more money, because you know that if you felt great in your body and you looked great and you had the confidence, you had the high self-esteem, you know that if you could be that you would be out there putting yourself out there for the raise or putting yourself out there in your business. You know that you wouldn't hold back anymore. You would go for it. So if that's the biggest benefit, write that down and then feel how you would feel if you were there right now. What would that be like? I guarantee you that you can have that. You can have that, but you have to start where you are. You got to get the right coach. You got to get the right coaching. You have to have the right system. You have to work the steps. You got to end this problem that you have so that you're free of the food addiction, so that you're free of the overeating and the self-sabotage and the weekly cycle of I'll start again on Monday. Oh my God, that is like such a huge sign of a fat mindset. And it is just never, ever, ever, ever going to give you the results you want. If what you want is to lose weight and keep it off, it's just not going to happen. And I'm, sorry to tell you, but it's good that I'm telling you this so that you don't keep doing the same thing. That just like Einstein said, the definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over and over again while expecting a different result. That is total insanity. Total insanity. All right, so make sure that you are subscribed to the JoLynn Braley Show in iTunes. It's totally free to subscribe. And please give us a tip in our tip jar. You don't even have to spend any money to do this. Here's how to give the JoLynn Braley Show a tip in our tip jar. Go to iTunes, rate the show, and leave us a review. And that is how you give me a tip, a virtual tip for all of this free information today, all of this paradigm shifting information, which has helped you to understand why you've never achieved permanent weight loss on your own. And that the fact is that it's 90% mindset. It's a mental and emotional game. And when you win that game, then you're golden. And that's really where the gold is. You got to get the right mindset. So give the show a tip, please. I'm begging you for a tip in our tip jar, and it won't even cost you any money. Rate the show on iTunes. It's totally free to rate and review. Type in your review. And when you do this, you are helping more people out there who are having the annoying, frustrating, painful struggles of the inability to stop eating, stop overeating. They just can't stop overeating and they just can't lose weight. You're going to help them to find this free weight loss podcast when you rate and review the show for free in iTunes. And I thank you in advance for giving the JoLynn Braley Show a virtual tip in our tip jar. Thank you very much. You can get a shout out from me on the JoLynn Braley Show. It's super easy. Go to the JoLynn Braley Show, click like to like our Facebook page. That's all you have to do. And then you'll get a shout out with your first name on an upcoming episode. Next week's podcast episode will be episode number 53 of the JoLynn Braley Show. And it is 3 steps to a new you in the new year. 3 steps to a new you in the new year. And that will be a very, very awesome podcast for you. But hey, check this out. What if you are listening to this podcast episode right now, and let's say it's summertime because you just found the JoLynn Braley Show. Listen to episode 53, which is 3 steps to becoming a new you in the new year. Listen to it anyway, even though it's not New Year's for you personally, because I'm sure that it'll give you some great insights into turning this boat around so that you can actually get what you want. My name is JoLynn Braley, permanent weight loss coach, founder of the Kick-Ass and Amazing Inner Self Diet. I help awesome, smart, successful women. They're successful professionally. They've never been successful with achieving permanent weight loss on their own. And I help them lose weight and keep it off permanently. And I help them end their food and weight struggles in 8 weeks or less by coaching them through my proven coaching system. Make sure that you head on over to mypodcastbonus.com to grab my free 5-day e-course to learn a little bit more. And if you really are serious about ending this problem, putting a stop to it right now, go to www.discovery-session.com to get started with applying for a complimentary weight loss discovery session with me on the phone. I wish you your best life in your ideal body.